Morning and welcome to Morning Maths. You'll just need a pencil and paper. If you're struggling to understand some of these methods, just keep working with me, just keep recording what I'm recording all the workings, and in the end you'll get it. Even if it takes 50 days, 100 days, just keep doing it, keep watching me, keep recording what I'm recording, you'll get it in the end. If you do understand all the methods, then it's just all about accuracy. It's all about being able to get it right every time, and then accuracy at speed. So you know which questions to do, it says that here, and we'll move on to day 5 morning maths. So question 1, the year 3 level questions. The value of the 3 in 304 is, so what's the value of the 3? 304 units or ones, tens and hundreds. We can see it's worth 300s. So the answer to number 1 is 300s. 300s in digits, 300 of course. Pause if you need to copy that down, please do copy it down. And we'll move on to number 2. Question 2 is add in 3 numbers, 5 plus 7 plus 8. So you would probably do this on a number line, or ruler or a number line, 5 plus 7 plus 8. You can do it in column method. It looks a bit strange when it's just 5, 7 and 8. Well, I don't have a number line here on the board, so I'm going to count up as I go along. So 5 plus 7 is 12, plus 8 is 20. 0, carry the 2, but because we're finished, it actually becomes a big 2, 20. 5 plus 7 was 12, and plus 8 is 20. You could count all that along a ruler if you wanted to. Let's move on to question 3. Question 3, switching our brains to minus. 123, take away 86. Let's show you how not to line it up. This is how not to line it up. That's the wrong place. You need to line your 86 up like this. Make sure you line it up down the right side. Down the right, okay? Line up's one of the most important things. 3 take away 6, you can't actually do 3 take away 6. If you have 3 sweets, you can't give your friend 6. So 3 will need some help. You can get that help from this 2. Remember, if I'm going too fast, always just pause the video, catch up with your copying, and then get back. So 13 take away 6 is 7. 1 take away 8. We can't do 1 take away 8. If we only have 1 sweet, we can't give our friend 8. So we've got to do more borrowing. Borrow from here, this goes down to a 0. This becomes 11 take away 8. 11 take away 8 is 3. And the answer is 37. 123 got smaller because we took something away from it. And it was 37 in the end. Pause if you need time to record that. We'll go on to number 4. 4 times 12. We've done our 4 times table in year 4. In year 3 as well. In year 3 and year 4, and in every year group. So in year 3 we've done our 4 times table, so we can sing our 4 times table up to 12. And it goes like this: 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24 and 28, and 32, 36 and 40, 44 and 48. And we get to 48. 4 times 12 is 48. If you're losing those songs a little bit, as if you're not in school at the moment, then practice those so they don't go out of your heads, because you were very good at those when I last saw you, or in year 3. So number 5, 10 divided by 2. So I'm going to get 10 dots or circles. That's a bit small, isn't it? 10 dots or circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to share those between 2. I'm going to share those between 2. In this case, I won't use people this time. I'll use a bag. There's a little bag. And there's another little bag. I'm going to share 10 of these purple circles between 2 bags. So I go 1 for you, 1 for you. This is division, it is just sharing. 1 for you, 1 for you. 1 for you, 1 for you. See how fair I'm being? You've got to be fair. 1 for you, 1 for you, and 1 for you, and 1 for you. Those bags look like they've got the same number in, and that number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They've both got 5 in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when you get 10 and you share it between 2, each bag in this case will have 5. So 10 divided by 2 is 5. That's the year 3 level work done. Some year 3s may continue as we move into the year 4 level work for year 4s and for year 5s, starting here, warming up on the year 4 work. So number 6, the value of the 7 in 237. That's a small one today, isn't it, for year 4? Just a 3-digit number. But you need to be able to do easy things as well as hard things. So sometimes there'll be easy questions. Easier than normal. What's this 7 worth? It's 7 units. Also known as 7 ones. 7 units. You could write 7 ones like this. 7 ones. And of course that is just 7. So 2 answers there. You don't need both of them. That's correct, that line, and that line is also correct. 7 units or 7 ones. That's what that 7 was worth. Let's move on to number 7. So this is a 4-digit number. 1, 2, 3, 4 digits plus a 3-digit number. 1, 2, 3. This can be harder than a 4-digit plus a 4-digit because the lining up might trick you. It's a little bit more tricky, the lining up here. 7,832 plus 359. This is how it has to line up. So it's lined up nicely down the right side. That's how whole numbers have to line up when you add them. 2 plus 9 is, well, I need a line here, neater than that. 2 plus 9 is 11. 3 plus 5 is 8, plus 1 is 9. 8 plus 3 is 11. Carried a 1, make sure it says 11. 7 plus little 1 is 8. So plus should make things bigger. So this number that we start with should get bigger when it goes down here, and it did get bigger. 7,832 plus 359 was 8,191. So just copy that down. Make sure you've got all the workings, and we'll move on to number 8. If you did it ahead of me, well done if you got it right. If you got it wrong, be more careful. Accuracy is massively important in maths. Let's go on to number 8. This is a takeaway. 2,784. That's a 4-digit number, isn't it? We're going to take away 725. Be careful with your lining up. Pause if you need time to copy down the digits and the correct lining up. And 4 take away 5. I feel like putting my hats on this time. 4 take away 5, we can't do. We need to do some borrowing. 8 goes down to a 7. 1 comes over here. So it's 14 take away 5, which is 9. 7 take away 2 is 5. 7 take away 7 is 0. And 2 here. Let's make sure minus made things smaller. Yes, the top number was 2,784 and it got smaller. It was 2,059 because minus does make things smaller. Pause if you need to copy that down, and we'll move on to number 9. 24 lots of 5. I'll do this with the grid, and I'll do it with standard method. 24 times 5. So here's the grid. 24 will smash up or partition up into 20 and 4. 5 goes down here. So it's 24 times 5. So let's first do 5 times 20. Let's go for blue for the answer. 5 times 20. 5 times 2 is 10. Places 0 is 100. Over here, 5 times 4 is 20. So it looks like the answer is 100 plus 20, which is of course 120. So we have our answer, 24 times 5 equals 120. Let's do this with the standard method. 24 times 5. Takes less time. 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 is 12. Best that you use whichever method you can get them right with. Or if you can get them right with both, use your favourite one. So 120 is the answer to number 9. And we'll move on to number 10. Interesting question here. 444 divided by 4. 444 divided by 4. This is going to be 111. That's what my brain's telling me. It's what my head's telling me. I'm going to check it with the bus stop. How many 4's in 4? 1. How many 4's in 4? 1. How many 4's in 4? 1. That's what I said, 1. 111 is the answer. So it is 111. If you can do it in your head, I would advise you did it on paper and in your head. Because on paper it takes, 5 seconds? So it's worth it to do it as a double check. And then you'll be sure that you're right. As long as you do the right sign. Divide, of course, makes things smaller. That's why the answer or smaller than 444. On we go to the Year 5 work. Year 4 could continue if they wish. Year 6 will be warming up. And Year 5, this is your level. So number 11, value of the 2 in 32.547. Now these place value questions are a lot trickier than the Year 4 place value questions because they have decimals, which can trick you. I always put the point above if I see it. Units comes before the point, the place before the point. Units and tens, and then this is decimal places. What one do they want? They only want this one anyway. The 2 is simply worth 2 units. You don't have to put all the hats on if you've already found the hat that you need, which in this case was the units. 2 units, which is 2. Or you could write 2 ones, which is 2, because ones means units. Now we move on to number 12. Add in 3 numbers. 70, 90 and 80. They're all in the 10 times table. They're all multiples of 10, that means. Multiples of 10 are in the 10 times table. So add these numbers. 0. 7 plus 9, that is 16. Plus 6 is 22. 22, is that right? 7 plus 9 is 16. Plus 6 is 22. I'm going to go backwards. See if I get the same. 6 plus 9 is 15. Plus 7 is 22. Yeah, I'm happy with 220 for that one. Time to move on to number 13. Number 13, 8,792. 8,792. Take away 945. Make sure you line it up correctly down the right. As usual, you can't do all of this question without borrowing. 2 take away 5, you can't do. So 9 goes down to 8. We borrow 1. 12 take away 5, we can do that, and it is 7. 8 take away 4, that's 4. 7 take away 9, again we can't do that, it's borrowing green this time. So the 7 needs some help, so it goes next door. 8 goes down to a 7, it only ever goes down 1 and lends 1. That's what happens every time. You just go to the next door neighbour, which is in a slightly bigger column, because of course hundreds is smaller than thousands. So thousands is bigger than hundreds. So you borrow 1 from the thousands and it comes into the hundreds. And it's actually extremely helpful. So 17 take away 9 is 8. And don't forget this little 7 at the front, because it's actually not a little 7, it's actually 7,000, and it's the most significant digit left in the question. So we had 8,792, we took something away, and it went down to 7,000 and something, because take away makes things smaller usually. Pause if you need a bit of time to copy all the workings, and we're on to number 14. I'll do standard method for year 5. Of course you could do grid if you wish. If you forget how the grid method works, I always do grid in year 4 if you need to look back at that. Anyone from any year group, grid method is always shown in year 4. So number 14, multiply 4,562 by 5. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 6 is 30, plus 1, 31. 5 times 5 is 25, plus 3, 28. Make sure it says 28, not 82, 28. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 2, 22. Times makes things bigger, so this top number, when you multiply it by 5, it got quite a lot bigger. Times is very powerful at making things bigger. 2 times 5 was 10. 6 times 5 was 30, plus 1, 31. 5 times 5, 25, plus 3, 28. 5 times 4, 20, plus 2, 22. Always check your work. I'm talking to myself when I say that as well, because I know I can make mistakes if I don't check. Let's go on to question 15. How many 4s in 6,844? So how many somethings in a something? That is division. That's a division question. How many somethings fit into a something? I use the bus stop for division. It's actually my favourite method out of the plus, minus, times, divide 4 methods. Bus stop is my favourite one. So how many 4s in 6? 4 fits into 6 once. And there would be 2 remaining. How many 4s in 28? 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24 and 28. There's actually 7. Counted that on my fingers. My finger said 7. How many 4s in 4? Just 1, exactly 1. How many 4s in 4? Just 1, exactly 1. We get 1,744. Division usually makes things smaller. So that helps me know I used the right sign. I'm sure you know, having studied maths for years, that one of the most common mistakes is using the wrong sign. So make sure you don't make that mistake. I'm talking to myself when I say that as well. Make sure you use the right sign. So number 16, the value of the 1 in 1, 0. There's a comma this time, not a decimal point, a comma. So it's 10,203. What's the value of the 1? That's this one. 10,203. Units or ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, and tens of thousands. So it's worth 1 10,000 because it's in the 10,000s column and there's only one digit there. The digit 1 is there. So it's 1 10,000. 1 10,000. If I write 10,000 in words. And in digits, you can just go under the 1, copy it, and fill in with zeros. And you'll see it's worth 10,000. Because 1 10,000 is obviously 10,000. And there's the answer. Pause if you need a bit of time to copy that. Do always copy everything, don't just leave it. Please do copy it because that really, really helps you learn. Just day after day after day recording this helps you learn the methods, and then after that helps you get the accuracy which you need when you're under pressure in things like tests. I don't think I wanted to put my plus here on number 17. I'll put it a bit lower. 456 plus 287 plus 987. Just check you've copied everything right, especially when there's a lot of digit involved. There's a lot of digits here and I need to copy carefully. So units, tens and hundreds is all we want this time. 6 plus 7 is 13 plus 7 is 20. 5 plus 8 is 13 plus another 8 is 21 plus 2 is 23. 4 plus 2 is 6 plus 9 is 15 plus 2 is 17. 1,730 is our answer. Plus makes things bigger, and the answer was bigger than all the numbers, in fact, not just the first one. So that was number 17. Let's move on to number 18. We've still got this word reduce. It's been there for a few days. It won't be there forever. I want you to get a hang of reduce. Biggest number at the front in takeaway. Sorry, biggest number at the top, really, I should say. Biggest number at the start. 5,353. Reducing it by 465, which means we're taking 465 away. 5, 3, 5, 3, and 4, 6, 5. Okay. Borrow in straight away because you can't do 3 take away 5 in the units column. 3 take away 5 can't do. So we'll borrow from the tens column. Goes down to a 4. Then it's 1. Now we have 13 take away 5, which works, which is 8. 4 take away 6. We can't do that again. So borrow from the 3 goes down to a 2. 1 comes over here. 14 take away 6 we can do, and it's 8. Now we have 2 take away 4. Again, we can't do that. 2 needs some help from the 5. Goes down to a 4. 1 comes over here. There's a lot of borrowing in this question. 12 take away 4 we're doing, which is, again, 8. I didn't plan this. Just turned out to all have 8s in it. And 4 at the front. That's a strange answer, really. So that was number 18. I'm going to actually do something here to check this. I'm going to do the inverse to check this. Inverse means the opposite. What's the opposite of minus? A plus. So if I actually get these two bottom numbers and I plus them together, I add them together, I should get back to 5,353 if I was correct. So I'm using the inverse to check here because I've just got a funny feeling something might have gone wrong here. Okay, looks like it didn't. I still got 5,353. But that is, of course, how you can use the inverse to check what you're doing. Let's move on to number 19. Pause the video if you need time to copy. We've got 125,000 times 8. So 8 times 0 is 0. 8 times 0 is 0. That's going to continue for a little while. 8 times 5 is 40, so 0 carried a 4. 8 times 2 is 16, plus 4 is 20. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 2 is 10. Wow. So, commas go 3 from the end. 1 million, that's what that is. 125 times 8 is 1,000. 125,000 times 8 is a million. So the answer to number 19 is a million. Pause if you need to copy, and we'll go on to number 20, which is going to be division. 32,032. We're sharing that between 32. So usually when I do a question this difficult, which appears to be this difficult, because dividing by 32 should be quite difficult. Usually I'd write my 32 times table out, and I'll show you that in quite a few days' time. But this question is not as difficult as it might look, because 32 doesn't fit into 3. You carried 3, and 32 fits exactly into 32 once. 32 into 0, it doesn't fit at all, 0. 32 into 3, doesn't fit, carried a 3. And 32 into 32 is 1. So it actually was not really a very hard bus stop. Normally when you're divided by 32, it's going to be a very hard bus stop. It'd be a 2-point question in the SATs, that would be normally. But in this case, it actually wasn't too difficult to do, and the answer is 1001. So today I'll remember to put all the answers up, which I'll do now so you can see them. Check over what we've done. Check we've got everything right. And thanks for listening today, and I'll see you again tomorrow.